Continuation of our Satipatthana, the last section called Dhamma, mindfulness of Dhamma. This is also very important. This explanation we don't find in any other discourse in this way, except in Mahasatipatthana Sutta in Digha Nikaya. There are other discourses like Satya-vibhanga and so forth. They are explaining Dhammachakra and so forth in brief, not as in detail as in here. This is called exposition of the truth of suffering. Truth of suffering in Dhamma mindfulness of Dhamma. We discussed hindrances and then 5 aggregates, then internal and external senses, sense bases and fetters arising from them. Then 7 factors of enlightenment. And now we have come to the last section of mindfulness or Dhamma. Last section is Satya Pab, or section on the truth. This is the most important part of the Buddha's teaching. And this is the central of Buddha's teaching. The main core, heart of Buddha's teaching. If somebody asks what the Buddha's main teaching is, we definitely, without any hesitation, must say the Four Noble Truths. Four Noble Truths. That is, only the Buddhas teach that. And that is called Buddha's prerogative or Buddha's own teaching. Nobody else, nowhere else can you find the Four Noble Truths. And therefore you must remember, whenever somebody asks what the Buddha's main teaching, the main teaching, central teaching, core of his teaching is the Four Noble Truths. And it is so important. One day, when Venerable Vajira, his enlightened bhikkhuni, was in a forest, Mara appeared before her and asked her, why do you assume a being? He asked, the Mara asked the bhikkhuni, by whom has this being been created? Where is the maker of the being? Where has the being arisen? Where does the being cease? This, when you hear this stanza, normally you may not be able to figure out the meaning of the stanza. By whom has this being been created? Where is the maker of this being? Where has the being arisen? Where does the being cease? Since she was fully enlightened, Sister Vajira, enlightened bhikkhuni, replied to him, "Why now do you assume a being? Mara, is that your speculative view? This is a heap of sheer formations. Here no being is found. Just as with an assemblage of parts, the word chariot is used, so when the aggregates exist, there is the conventional being. It's only suffering that comes to be, suffering that stands and falls away. Nothing but suffering comes to be, nothing but suffering cease. This is what she said. And therefore, that is we must understand the central teaching. She put very succinctly, briefly. Anyway, with this, let us go to the Buddha's explanation what the Four Noble Truth of Four Noble Truth. Number one is suffering. Suffering. This is a universal truth. Suffering is noble truth and Arya Satya. And Buddha gave it is noble because it is universal. Universal. No one is exempt from this. Everybody is subject to this. And number one is suffering of the Four Noble Truths. Suffering, cause of suffering, end of suffering, path leading to the end of suffering. We will explain this in some detail. Friends, we must all remember these Four Noble Truths in as much details as possible. Birth is suffering. Why birth is suffering? It is because of birth all other problems arise. When we are born, whole bunch of suffering is born. And aging is suffering. We all know that. Don't joke about aging. Don't be pessimistic about aging. Don't try to look down upon aging. But we must mature enough to understand that that is the truth, aging. And death is suffering. Death is suffering not only for the one who dies, but also for those who live. They go through a lot of emotional stress. And then sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, and despair. All are names of suffering. Sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, and despair, suffering. And then union with what is displeasing is suffering. To live with something or someone that is not pleasing to us is suffering. Separation from What is pleasing is suffering. Not to get what one wants is suffering. I put it in the other way as well. Not to get what one wants is suffering. Then you may think if that is the case, to get what one wants should be a pleasure. Not so, friends. Even to get what one wants is suffering. Why? Because sooner or later you have to separate from that, or that thing you got will separate from you because of the nature of impermanence nature. And Buddha said, in brief, 5 aggregates subject to clinging is suffering. All are given in Pali. I put it only in English. And then Buddha explained it in some details. The birth. What is birth? What because is birth? Buddha asked. Birth is birth of beings into various orders of beings. Various orders means humans, animals, divines, reptiles, birds, fish, and so forth and so on. There are countless orders, categories of beings, and they are born into those particular states. And then they are coming to birth, precipitation into the womb. And there are Pali words, I just try to uh, avoid a lot of Pali words in order to save time. And generation and the manifestation of aggregates. Aggregates form, feeling, perception, thought, and consciousness. These are the aggregates. They are born. And then obtaining senses, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, mind. These are senses. Arise, all this. And then what is aging? The aging of being in various orders of beings. As we know, we are aging from the moment we are born, we are aging. But at different stages, we use different names. When we are very young, we say growing, and then we say maturing. Only in the last part of our life, we call it aging. But friends, this is called jara. Jara means aging from the moment we are born. Various orders. And we can see them like broken of our teeth. When the teeth are broken, brokenness of teeth, grayness of hair, wrinkling of skin, and uh, declining of life, weakness of faculties. All these are called aging. Aging. Our seeing vision is poor, hearing is poor, smelling is poor, tasting food is poor. And all these are called aging. Aging. That is suffering. That is suffering. And what is death? The passing of beings out of various states or various beings. They are passing away, dissolution, disappearance, dying, completion of time. Completion of time, that means we have no more life to live. Dissolution of aggregates and laying down of the body and cutting off of life faculty. Jivita Indriya. Jivita Indriya. So long as we have this life faculties, we live. As soon as it is cut off, it is called death. And what is sorrow? Sorrow. Sorrowing, sorrowness, inner sorrow, inner sorriness of one who has encountered some misfortune or affected by some painful state. Now, this only those who have attained full enlightenment, although they too go through all this, they don't have sorrow, sorrowing, sorrowfulness, inner sorrow, inner sorriness, encountered with some misfortune. They don't have pain. They don't have sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, and despair. Although they have physical pain. What is lamentation? The wailing, lamenting, wailing and lamenting, bewailing and lamentation. These are the words Buddha used to describe it, to make the point very clear to us. Encountered some misfortune, when we encounter some misfortune, affected by something. What is pain? Bodily pain, bodily discomfort, painful, uncomfortable feeling born of bodily contact. And that is what even arahants have. They have pain, but they don't have suffering. They have pain, physical pain, but they don't have suffering. And what is grief? They don't have grief, but ordinary people have mental pain. Mental pain is called grief, mental discomfort, painful, uncomfortable feeling born of mental contact. That is called grief. Now you can see the pain is physical, grief is mental. That both are suffering. And despair, the trouble and despair, tribulations and desperation, all these are called despair. And then what is the union with what is displeasing? Union with what is displeasing. Here, somebody coming together, meeting, encountering, concourse with those forms, sound, odor, taste, tactile objects, or mental phenomena. That means when we come across some sights, some sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, and mental object, that we don't want, that we don't like. We don't like certain signs, certain sight, certain sound, certain smell, certain taste, certain touch we don't like. But we come across with them. And that is displeasing to us. That is suffering. And uh, and this we don't wish for, we don't like to have it. And then what is separation from what is pleasing? Here is also a very common experience we have. Here the absence of coming together, meeting, encounter, concourse with those forms, sound, odors, taste, tactile objects, and mental phenomena that are wished for, that are desired, agreeable to oneself, only with those who desire one's good, welfare, comfort, security. They can be mother, father, brother, sister, older or younger kinsmen, friends, colleagues, relatives, or family members. And not getting together with them, not meeting them is suffering. We like to be with our pleasing visual objects, pleasing sound, pleasing smelling, pleasing taste, very pleasing touch. They may be inanimate, and also our mother, father, brother, sister, cousin, relative, friends whom we like. We cannot be with them. We cannot be with them. We like them very much, but we cannot be with them. That is suffering. And then separation from them is suffering. That is why when somebody passes away, we lament, we grieve, we sorrow. Why? Because the company of that person we like. And we cry, especially not for the person who passed away, but for ourselves. We are so selfish. We want to be with them. We want to have their company. When we lose it, we feel sad. So whenever we think of crying, of passing away, uh, this is what we have to think. Uh, so we want another thing, Buddha said, because what is not obtaining what one wants. Okay. So Buddha said, to beings subject to birth, there comes the wish, oh, that we were not subject to birth. The birth would not come to us. But this is not to be obtained by wishing and not obtained what one wants is suffering. So we are subject to birth, subject to birth. And then we have gone through all kind of problems in life. Then we might think, oh, I don't want any more life. This is enough. I don't want another birth. I wish I will not have another birth. I wish I may not have another birth. But by so wishing, we cannot stop it. We cannot stop taking birth again. Why? We have already laid down the foundation. What is the foundation? Desire and ignorance. So long as we have them, we certainly will take birth. And then once we are born, we think, may I not grow old, may I not be aging. By so wishing, we cannot stop it. That Buddha said is suffering. And when we think other people fall sick, may we not fall sick, we wish. By so wishing, we cannot stop falling sick. We might think that others fall sick, we should not fall sick. And against sickness, we even take insurance. Life insurance. And insurance does never ensure our health. They might pay bills, but we fall sick. And no matter how much we wish, we cannot stop it. And above all, worst of all, the death. When others die, we see them dying, we wish, may we not die, may we live forever. So, there's sorrow, may sorrow not come to us, may pain not come to us, may despair not come to us, and so forth we may wish, but by so wishing, we cannot stop them. And then similarly, grief, despair, and so forth. And Buddha said, monks, in brief, 5 aggregates are suffering. 5 aggregates are suffering. Form, feeling, perception, thought, and consciousness are suffering. In brief is suffering. So, in the Dhammacakkappavattana, what you call it, yes, in this discourse, Buddha said, in dependent origination, last section says, eva metasa kevalasa dukkha khandasa samudayo hoti. Dukkha khandasa samudayo hoti. 5 aggregates is called Rupa Kanda, Vedana Kanda, Sanya Kanda, Sankhara Kanda, Vijnana Kanda, and Buddha put all of them together and called dukkha kanda. Dukkha kanda. Kanda means mountain. So we are mountain of suffering. So in addition to put all of them put together in one bundle and say we are bundle of suffering. That is why Sister Vajra said, suffering is born, suffering lives, suffering passes away, and reappear another suffering, bunch of suffering. Friends, when we say this, don't be so depressed. People might think, oh, Buddha is talking all about suffering, 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 suffering. Is there any pleasure in life? Surely there is a pleasure. Surely there is a pleasure. That is why we live. That's why we do all these things. All sort of things we do to enjoy life. Surely there is suffering, there is a pleasure. But underneath all this pleasure, pleasure changes into pain because of the nature of impermanence. Impermanent. So we must be wise and mature. We cannot remain like children all the time. Children always cry for little things because they are immature, so emotional, so sensitive. We adults must be wise, mature, and understand the truth with impartially, without falling into the trap of emotions. And therefore, uh, to end the talk, I must say, even though we mentioned about suffering, our purpose is to understand the truth. Understand the truth. We cannot sweep it under the rug and pretend that it doesn't exist. It exists, but we must do something to get rid of that. In the Noble or Four Noble Truths, this is number one. Number two, we discuss later. Number two, we discuss. We can start discussing next week. That is much longer than this. But in one talk, none of them can be explained. Even suffering, we cannot explain all these things in one talk. In Majjhima Nikaya, there are two discourses called Mahadukkha Kanda, Chula Dukkha Kanda. The two discourses, great discourse on suffering and shorter discourse of suffering, and so forth. From the time he attained enlightenment till he passed away, he brought out this teaching into his teaching. He mentioned this thing directly or indirectly. And therefore we must understand this. Don't try to be what you call sissy. Don't try to be cowardly, but try to understand this. Friends, that's all I can do today as Dhamma talk, and let us do meditation, and we may have about 25 minutes to meditate. Okay? Okay. Let me read the loving friendliness discourse to begin our meditation. May all beings be happy and secure. May all beings have happy minds. Whatever living beings there may be, without exception, weak or strong, low or large, medium, short, subtle or gross, visible or invisible, living near or far, born or coming to birth, may all beings have happy minds. Let no one deceive another, nor despise anyone anywhere, neither in anger nor ill will should anyone wish harm another. As a mother would risk her own life to protect her only child, Even so, towards all living beings, one should cultivate a boundless heart. One should cultivate for all the world a heart of boundless loving friendliness, above, below, and all around, unobstructed, without hatred or resentment, whether standing, walking, sitting, lying down, or whenever awake. One should develop this mindfulness. This is called divinely dwelling here, not falling into erroneous views, but virtuous and endowed with vision, removing desire for sensual pleasures. One comes never again to birth in the womb. With this metta thought, friends, let us meditate, and then we say, By means of these meritorious deeds, may I never join with the foolish. May I join always with the wise until the time I attain Nibbana. May the suffering be free from suffering. May the fear-struck be free from fear. May the grieving be free from grief. So too may all beings be, from the highest realm of existence to the lowest. May all beings arise in these realms, with form and without form, with perception, without perception, be released from all suffering and attain to perfect, excellent, excellent. Now, friends, this ends our today's session. And if you have questions, you can ask them tomorrow. And I will meet you again at 10 o'clock tomorrow. And then I want to make my final metta wish. May all those who are in hospitals suffering from various diseases taken care of by compassionate doctors, nurses, and hospital staff. May they recover very soon and return to normal life, practice Dhamma, practice meditation. Even while they're in the hospital, if they meditate, that helps them to recover sooner. And may they finally attain liberation from samsaric suffering. May all the doctors, nurses, hospital staffs who are taking care of these people with compassion, taking time off to practice meditation, may they also liberate themselves from samsaric suffering. May those who have lost their loved ones and grieving, may they be free from grief, and may they understand the nature of life, and may they finally attain liberation from samsaric suffering. May all those who are in trouble spots, war zones, and so forth, may they understand the Dhamma, understand the Kamma, and try to practice meditation whenever they have time, and then liberate themselves from samsaric suffering. All those who are in the northern direction, northeastern direction, eastern direction, southeastern direction, southern direction, southwestern direction, northwestern direction, up and below, all of them in all these 10 directions. Be well, happy, and peaceful. May they all one day attain liberation, Nibbana. I think with this thought,
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante.
Sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Bhante.
Bhante. Thank you.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Bhante.
I
Oh, this
forgot to put it in. I forgot to save in YouTube. If somebody who has listened to it may put it in the YouTube. Okay? Bye.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Bhante.
Bhante.
Thiruvan Saranai.
Saranam.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bhante.